plant-based diets are better for long-term health and wellness. But the thing is, plant-based doesn't necessarily have to be only plants. There's a lot of really great ways to do animal protein in a plant-based diet as well. Overall, Americans don't get enough fruits and vegetables, so we should all work on getting more of those in our diet, and a plant-based foundation can really help. It's a trick. That's a myth, just because it's a big generalization, which is difficult to make. There are studies out there that have linked meat consumption and too much meat consumption with increased risk for diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes. But what's important is that a lot of those studies don't take into account the type of meat that you choose, the quality, and the types of products. So when you're choosing meat, it's important to be really selective. Choose the highest quality, unprocessed varieties. Think, steaks, ground beef, roasts, instead of the more processed varieties with additives, lunch meat, things like that. Go for quality. It's a trick. So that one is false. Eating fatty fish is a great way to get healthy fats in your diet, but it's definitely not, the best or the only way. Other good sources of healthy fat are things like walnuts, flaxseed, soybeans, and then also things like grass-fed and finished beef have more omega-3 fatty acids and CLAs than conventionally raised beef. Kale, that's true. I love kale. I would say kale is a superfood, but I do want to talk about the definition of superfood there. My definition of superfood is a nutrient-dense food that you should try to include in your diet, a lot if it's enjoyable to you. But there's no food that's going to cure, all your woes and illnesses and really be a superhuman thing. But if a superfood is a nutrient-dense food that you should include in your diet, then kale is definitely one of those.
It's a trick!
I would say not all calories are created equal. Different foods and different macronutrients like your protein, carbohydrates, and fat are digested differently by your body. So they have different effects on your hunger levels, your hormones, and kind of the way you feel afterwards. So if you think of, a white bread versus a whole grain bread, if you eat the, calorie-wise the same amount, you'll probably feel differently after each one because the whole grain bread will bring things like fiber, other nutrients in there that the white bread doesn't. It's a trick. I can see where that came from. Digestion does increase your metabolism a little bit, but if you look at 2 days and you eat the same amount of calories over those 2 days, but one of those days was spaced out and one was like all in one sitting, that won't really have very different effects at the end of the day on weight or metabolism or any of those goals that you're trying to achieve.
It's a trick!
It would be great if we could just eat protein and become super muscular and lean, but protein is totally necessary along with a weight training regimen to build muscles.
It's a trick!
So that one is false. We all have an organ in our body called the liver that does all the detoxifying we need. There are no juices or shakes or anything like that we need to do the detoxifying for us.